Hey. Welcome to Thursday night beer flow. We're about to get it started here. Episode 14. I can't believe we did 14 of these already. This is the Jack of Spades episode. So if you know that beat, you know KRS-One, you know BDB, you know Boogie Down Productions. And if you happen to see the movie, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, that was the theme music of the hero. So there you go. I am Rajay in the house. I got my boy Joe here outside Buffalo. Got my boy Eric here outside Michigan in the Lansing area. But don't call him a State fan. He's definitely all Wolverine to the core. And they got my boy Todd over in Indiana who's trying to figure out what his Hoosiers are doing this season. So we're going to get it started tonight. Thank you, everybody.
You go there, didn't you?
And we'll talk some beer. We'll talk some different things happening. We're going to talk Lagunitas. As you can see, got my brown sugar right here. We're going to be going through some of the different beers, and Joe's going to give us a rundown of the brewery and see what we have to deal with tonight. So how you guys feeling?
Good, getting ready for Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah.
For that Christmas time.
Stuffing those.
Got one day of work left, and then off for a few days. We all can't be like Rod and have like 2 months off for Christmas.
We all can't get Victory at Sea and mix six packs either. So
and sip beers all day long.
Look, I can't help. I got a good deal today. So for you watching out there, we appreciate it. And Joe will be pulling your comments here. So talking earlier,
I just to say, hey, like you said, it's not my fault. I got a good deal today. By today, do you mean every day? Like every single day you go to the beer store?
I don't not just every day. It just happens once in a while, usually when I'm shopping. So
which happens a lot.
And why?
So I walked into the grocery store today, and our chain here is Kroger, and bless the stock boy or stock girl who stocked them today. And if you guys have Kroger's where you're at, or stores where you can build your own six-pack, we build them for $9.99 here. Happened to look in there because I was going for Lagunitas because that was going to be our feature player today. Happened to look in there, and there's Ballast Point. Is that a Victory at Sea? Is Joe like laughing right now? Is that a Victory at Sea right there? So I went ahead, I grabbed one. Oh, there's another one? So I ended up 5 Victory at Sea. I threw in a Rheingeist, one of our local breweries here, $9.99. That's a pretty good six-pack. That's a pretty good deal. It's pretty good value. So what's a 4-pack of Victory at Sea usually, like $14.99 or something?
It's expensive. It's totally not $10. Certainly not another beer.
So at 5 at $9.99 plus throwing another beer. So it's a nice little price point that I got today. Doesn't happen all the time though.
No,
I always share my values.
It's like a buy one get one.
It doesn't happen all the time, but like 93% of the time.
Only happens on days that end in Y.
If you went to the beer store 100 times, I'm pretty sure 93 out of 100, you'd probably get a deal because you're Rajay.
Oh, well, tomorrow will be a beer run day, so we'll see what happens when I find out there. And,
Putting over-under out of deals at about 3 tomorrow. You're going.
Hey, if I find great deals, it works for you guys too. I'm sure I'll be putting some stuff together, so you know.
Yeah.
But I picked up a couple weeks ago. I picked up a Belgian. It's called Golden Carolus Noel. Mm-hmm. Very good Belgian.
Is that the Christmas version of the regular?
$2.99 for the bomber. So that was a pretty sweet deal too.
Yeah, it's what is the deal? It's a deal.
Well, Booze Reviews was doing his advent calendar, and he came across that one. I was like, that's a pretty good beer. So what are you guys drinking?
Especially at $2.99.
I'm drinking Lagunitas Willetized coffee stout, their newer release. And it is freaking good. And for like listen, this isn't Rajay deals, but I paid $2.79 a bottle, which is Lagunitas, just how they roll in. It's damn tasty. 12.6%. I don't know what's going on. It's gonna be a good night.
Yeah, I've got one in the cellar, and I want to try it.
Did you get a bomber?
Same here. I think I paid $2.49 for mine.
Oh, you guys just got the 2 12 ounces. Neither of you got a bomber then.
I don't think they sell. I think the High Westify they might sell in bombers. I think these are just 12-ounce bottles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got High Westify in 12-ounce bottles before.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was last year's version, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they stopped with the 12-ounce bottles with the High Westified and some of their bigger releases. I think they're at the 12-ounce bottles now, strictly. At least in my opinion.
How big is that beer, Joe?
Percentage-wise?
Yeah.
12.6. So
woo!
For $2.79 a bottle, I will not session this. But I mean, you're talking like $14 a 6-pack because they upcharge for single bottles. And it's like, I could maybe get like 1.5 Bourbon County stouts for that. Maybe just one. Maybe.
Like I said earlier, you get prairies for $14.99. That same size, same alcohol all day long.
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer.
We'll talk about it, later on, and probably all night. But Lagunitas, I still think has the best price point in the country, if not the world, when it comes to craft beer. They're just amazing. They know what they're doing. Which I question a lot of these other breweries and why they charge what they do for certain barrel-aged beers. They can't be doing much more than Lagunitas is doing, and to charge double and sometimes triple. I mean, don't get me wrong, Firestone Walker Parabola is an awesome beer, and I love it. But why is it $9.99 for a 12-ounce bottle when they release it now where this is $2.79? I don't know. So
because people pay it.
And they do.
People will buy them.
Hype machine, baby.
So, I mean, if people pay it, then the market will keep giving it to them for that price. But I do want to get that Willetized. I haven't gotten that one yet. So that is one on my list.
It's really tasty. It really is.
Brad, have you seen it in your area yet?
I have not. But I'm going to check a couple places tomorrow. I might roll over to Indiana because they could have some over there as well. So I need to track down some 450 North, too. I want that Fruity Pebble one still.
Yeah, dude.
That yet.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's
terrible. Every place they sell it pretty quickly.
They've got all kinds of beers in that Nugget series now.
Yeah, I bet they do.
There's a lot of places doing
like 2 new beers every Friday. It's unreal.
They trying to be like us in Cincinnati? What's going on with that? We got actually.
I'm on the other side of the ABV spectrum. I am drinking a 3.9% the down low ale from Lagunitas.
That's on you, but it's probably really good still.
That's Eric's Miller Lite substitute right there.
Yeah.
Sure, there's some
coconut on there. Coors.
How is that one, by the way?
It's not bad. I mean, it's malty and it's a little hoppy too.
Yeah.
Would you pay? What'd you pay for the bomber? Was it probably like $4.99?
Yeah, $4.99.
Of course, it was.
It's pretty universal.
Tasty.
Nice.
And then which one did you start out with, Todd?
The brown sugar.
All right. So the American Strong Ale. What are you thinking of it?
Oh,
this one?
Good.
Oh, sorry.
A nice little sweetness to it. And 10% for. I think I paid $2.49 for this bottle, 12-ounce bottle. You can't beat that all day long.
So you say you don't have a Trader Joe's near you guys?
No, I do.
Because if you go there, you can get individual. They don't uptick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they don't.
Yeah,
but their selection here is unlike the one locally to you. I know we get some good, decent stuff, like a lot of local, and some of the I've seen Lagunitas there, Oscar Blues, Stone, a couple places like that, but it's usually just their main releases. Nothing, really not a lot of specialties or anything. But they do have good price points for sure.
Yeah. I got one place here that's a regular legit store that they don't break it up either, and they keep it the same. Take the number divided by 6 or 4. That's what you pay for, which is nice. But you always got to check it for the dates just to make sure.
I get why bottle shops do uptick though. For individual. Up. Yeah, I mean, you're not spending $10-$12, so I mean, they're trying to make 50-75 cents up on a bottle, and I'm fine with it because I'd rather pay an extra 50 cents for a single bottle than pay an extra, I don't know, $7-8 for something that I might not enjoy. An entire 6-pack of or 4-pack or whatever it is. So it's nice when they don't though.
Yeah, well, buying some beers nowadays is like buying records back in the day too. Like the whole album isn't great, so you only want a certain few tracks on it. So
well, I mean, and here's the question that I posed to everyone, including people watching, viewers, people commenting. There's a couple comments we'll get to in a bit. But how often, if you see a new craft beer or even a craft beer you had before, how often do you buy 6-packs or 4-packs anymore of the same beer? For me, it's a rarity because there's just so much stuff available. I don't want to have 6 of one specific beer in the fridge when I can get 6 different ones to try. I would say a high percentage of craft beer drinkers are kind of in that vein nowadays, in that same vein where it's, I want to try more things. There's new things. I mean, you guys just mentioned it. Local breweries. Every Friday, there's a new release from this brewery and that brewery. It's like, I ain't got time to drink all these beers. There's certainly not 6 of a single one anymore. So I always seek out places that do individual bottles or at least mix 6-packs,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't usually buy 6s as much, but when I do buy it, it's because it's a deal. So it's kind of like, I get it.
You get it for $1.99 for a 6-pack.
You are an exception to every rule ever
But then
made.
again, like I have guys here that'll I'll buy like a 12-pack or something or a case, and they'll just cut a deal to get some of the beers out of it themselves. So it's not like I'm buying whole things. So I end up with 6 of these beers that end up costing me $1 a beer or whatever the cost is for my part. So
For sure.
no complaints there.
No, I mean, and that's kind of like, Eric today went and bought a couple beers locally, and he's like, 1 for each of us, 1 for him. There's the 4-pack. It's done. That's kind of the way I do it a lot of times too, because works out for everybody.
I can't even get to all the beers I got right now. I mean, for me to put this 6-pack in, I had to buy tonight for the show, and then those Ballast Point ones. It was like the whole. I had to put them in the fridge because they were all cold already. So it's like I can't put them in a cellar. And the whole bottom level's already so I'm like a double stack of cans in there right now.
You should, you know what you should do right now? You should fire up Justin Timberlake's "Cry Me a River." That's what you should do, Rod.
I'm going to give you some Dusty Rose hard time.
No.
But it's like I got cans stacked in there now. I'm surprised my wife's not yelling at me about it now. Like, how much more beer are you going to put in here?
No, it's going to happen. It's hard. Tom,
does the butter need to stay in the fridge? What about the eggs? Can we just put them on the counter?
This milk, you think it would be okay for 6 to 8 hours outside of the fridge? Put it outside. It's cold enough.
So any comments out there you want to look at before I hit some of the beer news of the week?
Yeah, we'll get to them. We have Beer Bellied Traveler says, I wanted to try brown sugar. So they have not tried brown sugar yet. It's a great beer.
Good. If you like strong ale, it's a good beer.
Yep. Our buddy Craig, Kemp Beer Review, says, really? A good deal? Wow, that's a first.
He's going to troll me all night for that. I know he is.
And then when I said today instead of every day, he said today, had a little winking smiley face, though. I agree.
What's up, Craig?
Yeah, Craig, what's up, brother?
What's up, buddy?
Beer Bellied Travelers continue with love building our own 6-pack. Major thing offered most places in Michigan. Where are you? I am in Buffalo, New York. Rod is on the border of Cincinnati and
Kentucky and Indiana.
Kentucky, yep, in Indiana. He's there. Todd's in Indiana and Eric is in Michigan. So got a little bit of diversity here. Just located in the Midwest.
I'm watching a lot of stuff lately, so I appreciate it.
Midwesterners.
Yeah, Midwesterners, and then me kind of in between. Tyler, I can never say his last name.
Just call him Big T.
Yeah, Big T. Big T says hello.
Big T.
He says hello, gentleman, and then he corrected himself and says, or gentleman. So he went with the plural, He says he loves little something something. Got to say it. Yeah, it's a great beer.
Yeah, I had that in my hand tonight and put it back and got the Hop Stupid instead.
Good too.
They might have been stupid if it's not super fresh.
Being a lager fan, I almost got their what's their lager? They're the
Lagunitas.
Yeah.
I seen that and I almost grabbed that.
Their Pils is really good too. Their Pils, I think it's just called Pils.
Yeah.
It's a Czech Pilsner. Yeah, their Lagunator. One of the places here has the growler for $6.99.
Nice, good stuff. Beer Belly Travelers says to Big T, we love that one too. They enjoy a little something something.
A little something something though.
See what you did there. Big T said building your own 6-pack is exhilarating. It is, depending on what's available. Like if you go to a place that's just it's like, then you start being like, what do I really want? But when there's good selection, it is a lot of fun. You're like, yeah, do I get one of these? Do I get 2 of these? What happens? It's a lot of fun. Or you could just go in there and buy 6 Victory at Seas. 5.
Five.
Sorry, 5. Just only 5. Like your Rod.
Got to make it legit.
My buddy Ewart Tekumuri says hashtag pray for Joe. The beard's gone. There's no more praying going on. But if you want to keep me in your thoughts, I'm all right with that. Bum from PH from Pittsburgh, or outside of Pittsburgh, right? He says, I'll still buy 6-packs of stuff I like, but I rarely buy 12 packs or cases unless they're variety packs. Yeah. I can't remember the last time I bought like a case or a 12-pack unless I'm splitting it with multiple individuals.
Yeah. Well, the last 12 I bought was at Staffley Hop Trials because it's so limited.
Mm-hmm. Craig says was lucky to meet Don Chartier last month in London, which I think is one of the
Don Chartier or Don Cheadle?
Not Chartier, not John. If you met Don Cheadle, that's pretty cool though.
I don't see it, so I don't know. I don't know how he spelled it or anything.
Chartier, Chartier, I'd say.
I don't
know. Is he French? Is it French? I have no idea. You were Tekken where he says was unlucky to meet Joe a few times. No, you were very unlucky. I'm glad I haven't hung out with you in a couple of years because you're a piece of trash. You were,
and you was in Michigan too.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's in Canada. He likes to act like he's in Michigan, but he's totally not in Michigan. If you look at his untapped, if you look at his untapped, it says South Detroit, but really it's more like East
It says 8 Mile.
Yeah. You were what a person. Craig says bought me a pint of 12th of Never Ale. Good one.
That's a nice one.
And then Ewart finishes with thoughts and prayers. God bless. Cheers, good sir.
There you go. Let's see. So interesting stuff. Well, everybody's starting to wind down, and I don't know, Joe, you want to make this is Joe's project for next week on the show. I'm just going to be kind of in the captain sheet. It's going to be like Picard turning over to Riker for next week for the what do we call them? The Flowy Awards, Beer Flowy. What do you call them?
Yeah, Beer Flow.
No, it's number one incorrect. Number two, you named him, Rod. It was you. You named him.
Great beer. I can't say I fully remember.
It is called the Flowing Pints, I believe, is what you want.
Flowing Pints.
Yeah, that's
there it is.
Yeah, so we'll shout out the UK guys: Harry, Blue Nose Beer Reviews, Craig, Kent Beer Reviews, Rob from Hobzine, Jake over at Jake O Beer. Who am I missing? Peter, Clueless Drinker, Brett from Beardy Beer Reviews. They did a whole. I think it's been a couple of years.
Rob, right? Hobzine.
Yeah, Rob from Hobzine. They do the Golden Pints, but they do like 30 different categories, and it's like 3 hours long, and it's pretty awesome to watch. It's a lot. There's a lot of awards, and there's a lot of them, doing it. So, but I thought I would pay homage to them, aka rip them off. Give them complete respect, though. This is based on theirs, and kind of do it in the same vein, but keeping it a bit more simple to awards for like our favorite beer of the year, our favorite brewery of the year, our favorite hop forward beer, dark beer, fruit beer, barrel aged beer, simple beer, local beer, local brewery, the best new beer we've had all year, best foreign beer, best seasonal, and then we're going to do a little different than just beers and go some of our favorite beer tubers because we want to offend everyone, because that's what I do. I corrupt and offend everyone. But I just felt like to get the word out there from who do we like as a beer tuber, what beer tubers you watch, maybe every single one of their reviews or most of them, or who you really just like, check it out. So we're going to keep it, like I said, I think that's 13, 15 different categories, so not too crazy. It does require just a smidge of research by everybody here.
Oh, it's just a little simple thing. We need to rattle all these different categories.
Yeah, I mean, research is going to be done. It's not like none of us have off or anything over the next week.
As simple as a midterm exam.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fun though. It's beer. Figure it out. No, but so anybody that's watching and wants to join along, I can get Rod maybe to post each category on the following Beer Flow show, what we're going to do, which is going to be the Flowing Pints, and you can post it in the description. So if you guys want to follow along or maybe come up with your own list, and when we do each category, mention it, we'll read the comments and whatnot. So make it a little bit more interactive, because I know sometimes we forget comments just occasionally, just once in a while. But yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. I mean, it'll be cool to see what some of our favorite beers of the year were, and what was impactful, I guess, in our beer drinking life. Because, you drink a lot of beers over the year, and it's cool to kind of reminisce about what excited you and what you're happy with. We're not going to try to keep this positive, because I do enough corrupting in general. So do a more positive vibe, not like least favorite beers and crappiest beers. I mean, because I don't really want to talk about something that's garbage. I mean, usually if I have a bad beer, I don't know about you guys, I'm done. I'm not going to sit there and rag on it. I'm done. Move on to something else. So try to keep it positive. We'll try to keep it, like a normal show, a couple hours long max, and should be fun, I think. Maybe not.
No.
We'll see.
Yeah, so that'll be next week. And speaking of the Golden Pints, I don't know if that was their original idea or not, because I'm seeing from Mike's Taproom.co.uk, they have their Golden Pints 2017.
So maybe it's not original. Maybe they're stealing it too. So
I'm saying somebody may have picked somebody else's pocket. That's all I'm saying.
It's just like a fourth hand-me-down.
Yeah.
For us.
It was in the UK, so maybe it's just a thing they do in the UK. Maybe that's just people have fantasy football. They have Super Bowls. It's all Super Bowl. So
when it comes to like fantasy hockey, the folks in Canada, they call it a hockey pool. So it's just the same thing. Yeah, they don't really call it fantasy hockey. It's a hockey pool.
There you go. So so we'll be doing that next week, and then I saw a piece out here. It was talking about celebrating a year in craft beer.
That's what we're doing next week.
And this was from the Brewers Association. So in the past, we talked about 53, 5,400 breweries. Well, 6,000 breweries now in the U.S. So the number has hit the magical 6 level. Still growing. Economic impact, 456,373 jobs in the craft beer industry. Counts for $67.8 billion. So far, there's been 2,700 breweries to accept the independent label from the Brewers Association that are putting on bottles. The recent Tax Act, which, depending on where you're at, has implications, actually seems to have benefited the beer industry. So craft brewers actually have a loophole in it, or I say a loophole is a part of it, where they can actually cut how much they're going to have to pay for their barreling and everything. So it could be a nice little boom for them. And I came up with this word a long time ago. I didn't know anybody else was using it, but it says take a beercation. So now tourism is actually being wrapped around beer for beercations. I created a website when I thought about it a couple of years ago, and I didn't do it. Average craft drinker visits 3.5 breweries near their homes and 2.5 breweries within 2 hours driving distance. So do get out to the different beer scenes and are putting some dollars out that way. 73.4 million in donations from craft brewers to charitable causes, which again is a good thing when you're making an impact in a craft brewery. They're making stuff back into the community. 1.1 million home brewers produce more than 1.4 million barrels of beer. Now, I don't know how you know how many barrels of beer they've done, but that's the number they threw out there.
That's a solid guesstimate.
Yeah. But each person can brew up to 100 gallons. If they have 2 persons in the house, they can do 200 gallons by law. I mean, I know people probably go over that, but yeah. Let's see what else here. Anything else on here? I did see another report that showed Budweiser is no longer in the top 3 of American beers, although Bud Light is still number 1 for cases. So Budweiser fell to number 4 behind, I think, Miller Coors, actually.
Wow.
So that was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
So that's some of the good stuff happening in craft beer. So people are always like saying, are we about to have this bubble burst and all this stuff happening? Like, I don't think so.
I think when the bubble does burst, it's going to be more like just weeding out the breweries that aren't that good. That's what's going to happen. Like, people got to up their game. You got to up your game and be prepared to make good beer. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is, yes, I'll always prefer a craft brewery when things are equal. But out of 6,000 craft breweries, there's probably a good 5 to 10% of them that just aren't that good.
Yeah.
And they'll weed themselves out. I mean, you'll probably lose. You might even end up losing 1,000 breweries out of that number, over the maybe next 5-10 years. I mean, I've seen more and more breweries go out of business. They're putting their, business up for sale or whatever because it's very competitive now, quite competitive. And if you're getting into the business now, you have a lot to deal with. It's not just like, oh my God, let's just serve all the locals. It's like, well, most locals probably that are going to come to your brewery probably already like a locally established brewery to begin with, or maybe like a big craft brewery, and it's hard to earn their trust and their dollar. So
Yeah, I mean, you can't half-ass it anymore. You got to get out there and actually make some good beer. And we know of some microbrews that don't put out all that great of a beer. There's some of them, they're not all going to be perfect. So, hopefully.
I think that's what's going to keep it kind of floating. Yeah, you have all those beer, breweries out there, but percent of them, they're not distroed in every state. So you kind of tend to gravitate towards your locals. I mean, you do have your go-tos and some of the ones you want to try, like Lagunitas and those stones or whatever that everybody tends to get. But breweries and kind of keep it local as well. Hang out on the weekend and drink their stuff. At the same time.
Which is
not everybody can do that. So.
It's like you're in a tunnel again there. Which is kind of interesting because some of the areas don't have breweries that really match up compared to the number of people they might be able to support. And some are like, I don't say I'm overabundant because I like going to them all, but I mean, you look at where I'm at, I got 60 brewers within, 45-minute drive or so probably. And then some areas where there might be 5 or 10. It's just crazy how it's kind of done that way. But, you got to have the people. Our people here drink a lot of beer, so we're able to sustain a lot of them, I guess.
Yeah. And every area is not the same, obviously, too. I mean, not every city has millions of people, and not every different city, even across the U.S., have different tastes too, and what they're looking for. So, I feel like if you're getting into it nowadays, you kind of have to know your consumer base and kind of just go for the jugular that way and see what happens. Because brewing good beer is obviously what people are trying to do, but I think you even need to go above and beyond nowadays. You can't just brew good beer. You have to brew good beer that gets people talking about you or wanting to try you. Yes, you might make an awesome brown ale, but there's a shit ton of awesome brown ales out there now. Like, what makes you different than them? What makes you stand out in comparison? And it'll be interesting to see, as more and more breweries open, what kind of I don't know where they go to try to do that. I don't know what you can do nowadays other than just make good beer, but also make beer that people want to drink or get people talking. I don't want to say hyped up, but I mean, we all know if you hear a hype beer, it makes you want to try it. Just how it works.
Yeah.
So you got to get hype behind you a little bit. Hopefully it's not self-produced hype. Hopefully it's like word of mouth hype. I'm never a fan of when breweries try to hype their own brewery up. It's not the way to go about business. If you make good beer and it's worth trying out, people will talk about it on their own. So
people come too.
Yep.
Well, I know one place where it's actually booming. Another piece that I was looking at talked about Latin America. So Latin America is now taking off crazy on craft beer. In Brazil, there are 650 craft breweries. In Mexico, 630. In Chile, 350. And in Colombia, about 45. And these numbers they're saying are still soaring. So this was a piece released by Forbes earlier today, just talking about how they're just having a great boom there. And also, they're getting a lot of beer action taking place overseas in Melbourne in Australia. So around the globe, craft beer is still making a high impact. And where you're seeing shrinkage at is on some of the macro beers that are shrinking. Like Budweiser came down, even Coors Miller came down, and the big boys, they come down, but they're still at top of the heap, right? But chipping away.
Sam Adams is the same way. I thought I read something that saw their sales are down 17% for Sam Adams. I think you'll see some of the bigger
too. Yeah.
You'll see some of the bigger craft breweries start to take a little bit of a hit too, because when you have, even in the States, 6,000, people are gonna, hey, I love, Boston Lager. Not me personally, I like it. It's all right. But someone who says that they love Boston Lager, if they find something locally that's the equivalent, probably just start drinking that. So you're gonna see like Boston Lager sales specifically, but the Boston Beer Company, you probably see like New Belgium and Sierra Nevada. They're probably gonna take a dip.
In the next couple of years, see if it's kind of like a generational type thing in there too, because I look at some of the around our ages, we're doing a lot more craft beer. There's a lot of stuff like that out there. We kind of came up through 90s, early 2000s, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of the younger millennials, some of them are going more wine and liquor on some of their drinks. They're saying in the marketplace. So if they're not going to the big macro, and we're not going to the big macro. And you have the older people that were really drinking the big macro, like the boomers, and they're starting to drop off some from it. that could be some type of impact in there as well.
Well, we have a millennial here, Todd. He could tell us about that. What do you think, Todd?
Our local millennial.
Well, let me tell you what I think about that. You're talking about beer.
See, Todd, let that one slip by, but Joe caught you on that one.
Back in 1995, when I was born. No, it's all right.
Todd's gonna, what's this Zima thing? I want to try it.
I like it with Jolly Rancher.
God, don't bring up Zima.
Oh, you have a Zima to come itself. There was a piece asking about.
Zima missed the boat on that one. When they reappeared, they should have teamed up with the Jolly Rancher.
They should have.
But apparently, it's still popular in Japan. Like I think in Japan, they're still drinking the hell of a lot over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are popular in Japan that aren't popular.
That's on them.
True that.
Yeah, that's on their entire nation. No, it's there's a lot of differences. But yeah, them liking Zima, that's kind of just weird. I don't know.
That's an interesting question. Why don't alcoholic drinks have a nutrition label? Which I know people have brought up before, but hell, we can't even get ABV on all the cans or date.
Yeah, I feel this is what
or drink bad dates.
I feel two important things should be on the label. The ABV, clearly the ABV. Like everyone's like, oh, where's the IBUs? Who cares about the IBUs? Where's the ABV? Like the ABV is the main thing that matters. And then the second thing is ingredients. Yeah. Nutritional label would be, I guess, great. It should be the ingredients, so I know what I'm drinking.
Yeah,
just a little overkill, maybe.
I mean, I've seen some cans that have SRM on there. For all those watching that don't know what SRM is, that's basically the color of the beer, but there's no date.
It's like, here's the homebrew lingo.
Say drink fresh on the can. Like, how can I drink fresh if there's no date on the can to even know when it is fresh?
Right.
Yeah, here's all the homebrewing lingo, but we'll forget the ABV, we'll forget the ingredients, we'll forget the date. Nah, none of that matters. Maybe you're drinking a 7-year-old beer that's fucking 37%. Do you know that? No, because there's nothing on the label that says it.
And the thing is, I mean, I think if somebody gets an old beer that doesn't taste right, that's going to hurt craft beer. So, you know, as a brewer, you should care about what the product you're putting out there.
This is what I'll say from a date standpoint. I don't want to make a great beer review with craving it. But if you can't put the date on a bottle or a can of a hop forward beer of some sort, or at the very least a Best Buy, but preferably a bottled on or can on date, you are doing just yourself a disservice, because there are many people like Greg's Beer Reviews, not to say his name, but someone like that won't buy your beer, and if he does get a can of it, all he's going to do for a 37-minute review is trash your beer and give it like -47 because whatever, it doesn't have a date on it. But there's a lot of people, and myself included,
I don't buy stuff without a date a lot of times.
When it comes to
it's good stout or something.
Yeah, when it comes to hop forward beer, look, I'm not a beer snob in the sense of, oh, if this IPA isn't 3 days old, I'm not going to drink it. But if I go and look at a can of an IPA that I don't know how long it's been on the shelf, I'm not buying it. What if it's 4 or 5 months old? It's not going to be what the brewer intended it to be. I'm probably not going to enjoy it. Not that anyone that matters, but on your social, whether it's Untapped or Beer Advocate, someone's going to give it a poor rating. It's a bad reflection of your brewery. So either put the dates on the can for a hop forward beer or the bottle, or don't be surprised when it does get slacked when people buy older beers that they're not aware of. It's very simple. And what kills me is when you have a brewery that does put like a weird code on there. If you can put that weird code on your bottle, then you can put the date.
Just put the month, day, year on there.
Done. Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. But just don't listen to Greg from Greg's Beer Review. Sometimes it goes on a little bit of a tangent. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It gets a little crazy.
But the thing is, it should be done, that's for sure.
No, it should be for sure. In this day and age with the crazy technology we have, I'm sure you could just get a machine that prints the date on whatever you have, whatever vessel you're putting your beer in.
Hell, even the ABV. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
Hell, even the ABV at that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the scariest thing. In New York State, it's not a law, and they say they don't have to put it on there because they think people are going to buy the bigger ABV beers over the lower ones because they want to get drunk quicker. And I can see like 2% of me going, okay, I get that, but the other 98% of me goes, isn't it a little bit more scary if someone goes buys a 6-pack of something they think is 6%, they start drinking it and it's 12%? Yeah, I that's a little bit more of a concern to me than, oh my God, I see this beer is 8%, this is 6%, I'm going to buy it. people should be informed of what they're drinking when it comes to the alcohol percentage. It's just, I don't know. It makes sense. Absolutely unreal to be that certain states don't do that. I don't even know what they're thinking. I really don't.
A lot of them already do put the ABV on there. And Joe, like you just said, thinking people are going to get drunk. I think you're seeing the opposite of that. You're seeing, like you said, people are informed on what they're drinking. And if they see 10% and they buy it, they go, okay, I'm going to drink a 10% beer. Maybe I better not chug this unless...
Let the consumer make the decision.
Unless you're a young kid and you want to get your buzz on.
Yeah, but if you're a young kid trying to get your buzz on, you're drinking like Four Locos and crazy stuff. You're not drinking craft beer.
That's true.
Right?
There's been some people chugging on some of the videos that definitely weren't little kids. So they were drinking ABV. But hey, it's your beer. Do what you want. It's yours.
Hey, you paid your hard-earned money for it, so if you want to pour it down the drain,
I just
whatever.
think that argument is just silly, where they think people are going to get drunk. I think you've actually seen the opposite, because a lot of them already put the ABV on there.
Because people go buy Mad Dog because of the taste.
Well, this is the first reference ever of Mad Dog on the show, and hopefully the last. I've never seen an industry. Okay, I take that back. I would say I don't see too many industries that want to give their consumers less information when it comes to like important things like that. But like, nah, they don't need to know the ABV. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Whatever. Let them guess. Maybe they can play a guessing game at home and guess the ABV. It's like it's unreal that that's how they think. It doesn't make sense.
That's hard. Why? Like if you're in the ATF, if that makes it hard, because like alcohol, tobacco, and firearms are the ones that don't want to give information on a lot of stuff. It's like the one agency has to deal with all that. How are we looking on comments? Any comments?
Yeah, we have Craig continues with Get Untapped, ready for the best of next week. Yeah, we're going to need to get Untapped. I'm actually doing like just the old school, like running Windows 95. I just busted open Notepad, and I'm just going to get my my words going that way. Can't be fancy. He also says they did do the Golden Pints as well last year, so this wasn't the first year that I thought that was the case, but I wasn't sure. He also says I'm gonna say this baby like Dusty Rhodes / Greg from Greg's Beer Reviews. He says, put a can of bottled on date on the freaking can. It chaps my ass. Yeah, it does chap his ass, everyone's ass. Also, if you give me a bottled on date, make sure it's an IPA, and I can drink it with some of my more pungent cheeses like the Gargantula or the blue cheeses or the Limburger or the smoked Gouda. Okay.
Greg becomes more like Dusty Rhodes every week.
Oh, baby, it's Greg and Dusty Rhodes combination. They sound the same, kind of. Not really. He also says, Eric, I PM'd you on Twitter earlier. He DM'd you. He slid it up in your DMs, Eric. Yep. And Eric saw it, and that's it. That's all we got. We got 5 people watching. Hello to everyone aside from Craig, because Craig has already gotten a hello. And we appreciate him watching. Yeah.
Cheers, yeah. And gentlemen. There's women probably watching.
Oh, yes. All types watch.
They're all here for Eric.
Very diverse viewer base. I mean, that's why I'm here.
I'm not the only one.
So let's see. See anything else before we hit Lagunitas? I don't know if you guys have had the Armor Gang Game of Thrones series beers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't watch the show. I've never seen the show except little bits and pieces. My wife's watching it, but the beers have been on point. So they got a new one they're about to release called Hand of the Queen. So that's coming out here in 2018. But I do enjoy their beers.
Armor Gang.
When I first come out with them.
Yeah, that series is, like I said, in a lot of respects, it's geared towards people who I think who are just getting a craft beer, or who will watch the show and be like, oh, I got to get this bottle of beer because I like it and it's swag or whatever. But I think they've done a great job with, both appealing to both the newbies buying the beer because of the fact that it's related to Game of Thrones, and the hardcore beer drinkers who buy it because they might like the show, plus they love craft beer. And I think almost every one of the releases I've had has been pretty good, for sure. But Armor Gang's an amazing brewery to begin with. Like, they're one of the best Belgian beer producers in the U.S. or Belgian style. So like three philosophers. It's just, I love that beer.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
What's their farmhouse? Hennepin. Oh my God, that's such a great saison. Yeah. So good.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have an Armor Gang and I'll start watching Game of Thrones.
Does everyone here get Armor Gang? We should do them soon.
Yeah,
that would be
do.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, we get them.
So,
I got the 20th anniversary.
Yo, baby, January. What date? Who knows?
Settle down, Jill. Settle down.
Yeah, you know you want to do a Belgian-style brewery. Come on. You're chopping at the bit, Rod. You'll have like 8 beers. Probably got them all for 20 cents. It's going to be fantastic.
20 cents.
Oh, if I got some Albergane beers like that, I definitely wipe it out.
Yeah, dude. So the one beer I had, it was a couple years ago. I had it at a fest. They had bourbon barrel aged 3 Philosophers, and I just saw that that's actually released in bottles this year. So I'm like, sign me up for some bourbon barrel aged 3 Philosophers. It's great beer.
It's like Terrapin's updating their Hopsecutioner IPA artwork.
Maybe they should update the beer too. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
That's fired. That's fired.
Actually, that beer's all right. I don't have anything against it. I don't think it's beer.
I've had that one. I thought it was all right. It wasn't a great knock you back or anything like IPA. It was okay.
It's like an old school IPA though. It had like a not like the juicy, fruity, tropical. So it's like kind of like an old school grapefruit pine kind of,
Yeah.
Solid.
It was solid. It was
Earth.
It's all right. It was all right.
Earth from Joe D Show shows up. He says, "Cheers, gentlemen. Cheers, Earth.
Cheers, Earth.
Thanks for stopping
Cheers,
by,
buddy.
What are you drinking, Earth? I know you're always drinking something, Earth. You're always drinking something.
So there's another piece that came out. Oh, that I saw too, because neither of us really use this site, I don't think, as much anymore. But apparently, the fact that they keep coming out with these excuses is kind of like they might be trying to win people back, is my opinion. Beer Advocate. So they released another piece explaining their ratings.
Yeah, they're way better than ratings.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something going on over there or what.
Hate beer, like, Joe. It's hate beer.
Yeah, it's. I don't even want to. I can't. They're so bad.
But I think
like there's something wrong if you have to write a novel on how your site works.
I think they're trying. I think it might be them trying to get back, and maybe Untapped maybe is out doing it, because they're trying to get stuck on this whole 5-point thing again and explaining it again. And yeah,
I think they've done that too. Like since I mean, I still use Beer Advocate occasionally, and I used to use it exclusively because it was better than that other site that I will not name. It was
by AB and Bev, or by AB and Bev.
Yeah, it might be that one. But they've changed it like a half dozen times since I've been on the site, and I get they want to make it simplistic, but then they make it very confusing and complex, and then they go back and forth between the two. Like there was a time where they were not fans of being able to tick a beer on there, so you had to do like a full review. You couldn't just score it out of 5 on there. And then they made it, you could score it out of 5, but they didn't let your score deviate more than 20% of what the score. So let's say the average beer score on there for a certain beer was 4 out of 5. If you didn't like it and you gave it a 2.5 out of 5, they wouldn't let you put it on there because it was outside the 20%. And I'm just like,
I remember that. You had to write a thing on it or something.
Yeah, you actually had to write a full review to tell them why it's scoring 20% outside the like deviate so far outside the box. And I'm like, I don't even want to use you at this point. This is stupid. So now they've made it super simplistic, where they're like, okay, we're just doing it straight out of 5. We're not doing any kind of averages, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's kind of what Untapped is, right? So you're basically Untapped, but not Untapped. Right. And then they tried to update it again, and I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are doing. You're losing your market shares to Untapped, and you're pissed. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I kind of liked it when they had their out of 100 personally, because they made it. To me, it kind of made him a little unique instead of having to the 5-point system.
Right.
That's just my take on it.
I think they just need to make it easy for the people using your site. I mean, it doesn't need to be this. Listen. The ratings complex for beers, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be complex. It's just somebody's personal opinion on how they're whatever they're rating. It's like it doesn't need to be. You shouldn't have to jump through hoops to rate a beer. You shouldn't have to post a 500 character review to be able to rate a beer on your site. That's ridiculous in this day and age.
Yeah.
It really is. Untapped doesn't even force you to say anything. You could just give a rating.
Put in what you want to put in there. And
I
worked in.
It's still like 140. Isn't it like 140 characters if you want to?
Yeah, it's matches with Twitter. Yeah.
Now, but hopefully, they're going to up it to 280 because Twitter did. Maybe we'll see.
Mine didn't jump to 280 yet on Twitter, so. They may have only done that for the president to see how much more he types. I don't know. Give him more. See if he uses them all.
He'll use them all. Earth says for his beer, he was at a Yard House for lunch, and he just happened.
Love Yard House.
Yeah, and he just happened to get some CBS on tap. So
Oh,
Nice.
you said I need to go mine downtown Cincinnati. They might have it on tap there.
They might have it on tap.
And
They
then
had it on tap in my place and Bourbon County.
yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I said, how much did you guys pay for that thing?
Did you get some of the Bourbon County, Eric?
I did not. I didn't stick around for that. I was running late as it was, so.
Sacrifices, priorities.
Yeah.
Last minute Christmas shopping. I think I'd be in the doghouse if I didn't get somebody.
Fred calling the boss. I'm in line for Bourbon County right now. You're late, sir.
Trying to get a 6-ounce pour, damn it. Bum follows that up with, "Hey, Earth," and he says he still can't find CBS for less than $30. No effing way. And then in parentheses, he says, "I think." Well, I don't personally, and again, this is everyone's personal preference. I think everyone should try CBS. But if you have to pay more than 30, I'd probably say, nah, bro.
Yeah, if you're paying over $30, just pass it.
Well, the retail's like 25, right? 24.95.
$24.99. And then I came back from Canada this past weekend with a couple 12-ounce bottles, and I paid No, but I got a rod-like deal. $8.50 Canadian a bottle. Which, if you do the conversion rate, I'm pretty sure they gave me $6 for both bottles. Like they paid me to drink it. I think that's how the conversion rate worked. No, it was like $7 American for a 12
Is that some national law where they can't have it in bombers for that ABV?
No. Founders decided to package it in 12-ounce bottles for every single country they distribute in, except for their own.
Except for America.
Because they were like, you know what would be really cool? We should put this 12.5% barrel aged out in the 750 because everyone wants to drink 25 ounces of the 12.5% beer all the time. They don't want to have a 12-ounce bottle. You know, that doesn't make sense. Oh, is KBS in a 12-ounce bottle? Oh, it is. Is Backwoods Bastard in a 12-ounce bottle? It is. What? I mean, they didn't have to put in 750.
That was the only one in the barrel series that they didn't have in the 12-ounce bottle in the States, wasn't it?
Yeah, because the Fruitwood was. The Fruitwood. Well,
yeah.
So what was the other one that they had?
They had KBS, obviously. Fruitwood.
Oh, yeah, KBS, yeah.
But it's like, okay, if you put it in 12-ounce bottles, you're getting it in the hands of more people.
Maybe they figured Canadians couldn't handle a bottle.
Oh, they can handle all the bottles. And if I go on so for people that are not familiarized with Canada whatsoever, specifically the Ontario province, they most of their stuff is sold through what they call the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, the LCBO. They also can sell it in like the beer store, but the beer store doesn't get nearly anything close to the LCBO. LCBO, I think, is the biggest purchaser of alcohol in the world, by the way. In the world.
Wow.
And they actually, on their website, as of this moment, show where CBS is still available. There's an LCBO in Ottawa that has 497 bottles just hanging out at $8.50. There's 100 here, 100 there. It's the most ass backwards release I've ever seen for a beer. Like it's just a complete screw job. When people here in the States, they're not going to be able to find it in certain areas.
Well, or places in the States where people are putting pictures and CBS is sitting on shelves.
Yeah, but it's $25 also, you know.
Oh, yeah.
If you do the conversion rate, if you go buy 2 12-ounce bottles in Canada, it is the equivalent of spending, I think, $14 American for you get 2 less ounces, but you also pay more ounces. No, 750 is 25.4, 12 ounces.
Oh, I thought it was a 22 ounce. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
when you're talking this metric stuff, I'm like, dude, you're an American.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out. So put it this way. You can buy 2 bottles of CBS. You get 1.4 less ounces, but you're also paying $11 less if you can find it for 25 in the States.
I put that for a value.
Yeah, it's a great value.
That's a fair trade-off.
It's ridiculous that they didn't do the same in the States. They should have sold it in 12-ounce bottles, even if we had to pay $9.99 or whatever. It's stupid. It is. Founders dropped the ball.
Well, maybe it's an easier distribution system to do in a small bottle there than dealing with our 3-tier system here or something. In a different states and a different tax rates and all that. Could have been an issue of simplicity.
Yeah. Earth tells Bum, I think you'll get it soon, Bum. I don't know if he's telling Bum that he'll get it soon because he's going to send it to him, or he just has high hopes that Bum will find it locally. Craig says he really hopes we get CBS in the UK. I'm pretty sure you will. And it'll be in 12-ounce bottles, and then you can make fun of us. It should be a lot of fun. And then Bum says, Rod, when you find bottles for $10, I'll give you 15 for one of them. He's talking about the.
I'm going to do a markup for you, Bum. I get you said.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, Bum. He didn't even hesitate that he's going to get bottles of CBS for $10 at some point. He just said he wouldn't overcharge you for them. But he's totally going to get them at some point. And then Earth finishes up with, I prefer barrel-aged beers in smaller formats myself. I think most of us would agree. I mean, with so much beer out there to drink, I'd rather drink a 12-ounce bottle. Like this willetized coffee stuff from Lagunitas. If this was in a bomber, I'd still drink it, obviously, but
yeah, I was going to say,
I'd still drink it, but I'd rather have half of it and be able to drink another beer if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
12 ounces of this is enough for me. It's great. I get to enjoy it. It's a full, it's like getting a pour at the bar or at the local brewery. I get to taste it.
It's like the backwoods bastard. You don't have to drink it all at one time either.
Yeah. It's funny. You're forcing the consumer to drink that beer basically, unless you have like a savor. But even so, then you have to drink it the next day. If I want 25.4 ounces of a single beer, I will just buy 2 12-ounce bottles or cans, and I get almost that much, and I can decide myself if I want to drink it. So I don't know. It makes no sense. I could see if Founders sent the $7.50 to everybody, okay. But to do it in every other country but their own is just I don't understand it. It's stupid. Really is. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Fucking Founders. It's probably because they were bought out, making dumb decisions now.
They're like, we're not really crafting anymore. We can do what we want.
Yeah.
But I don't see people complaining about it like they did Wicked Weed.
I don't know.
Wicked Weed, it was like the end of the earth. Like, I can't believe he sold Wicked Weed. Yeah, but let me get some Bourbon County real quick.
Yeah. I hate Goose Island, and then all in the background, just like every year Bourbon County for like the last 7, just hanging out in the background. Yeah, okay.
So this one here, and then we'll go into the a little bit talk about Lagunitas. Bloomberg, they asked top brewers to recommend their top best seasonal beers. So 12 brewers got together to recommend some of the beers they like for the season here for winter. Charles Schofield and Matthew Mills of Barrel Souls Brewing Company out of Maine had actually chose Barrel Souls Bourbon Barrel Aged Honey Pot.
Some little brewery in Maine that no one knows of. They're recommending their own stuff.
Yeah, it's like, okay. It's a neat looking. Let's just pull it up here. Let me see. It's a neat looking bottle.
I thought if you do an article like this, shouldn't you do like nationally distributed stuff for the most part, at least regionally at some point?
Yeah, where everybody can kind of get to maybe the beer to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it there. I like the bottle look on it. It's pretty decent.
It's like a champagne bottle almost, right?
Yeah.
And so Firestone Walker.
Yeah, that's just super easy to get, let me tell you.
Anniversary ale.
Each place gets like 6 bottles of it, and I'm pretty sure someone got shanked in their leg to get one.
And then Tony Polino of OEC Brewing, again, Oxford, Connecticut. OEC Bruno's Pete Smokes. So they're picking their own beers here.
Yeah, what a bunch of... Come on now.
And then he picked this other one, Einberg Bach.
I've never had that voice now.
No. I wonder if Craig's had that one.
I don't know, but Bach's Doppel...
It's over in Germany.
Yeah, Doppelbachs are fantastic, too.
And then Omnipollo, which I do want to get at some point.
Yo, this is...
I just had one of those. I just had one of those the other day.
I see the happy face everywhere.
Yo, that shit is fantastic.
I can't get it here.
Oh, my God, it's so good.
I like the glass, though. That's kind of funny.
It's Eric, basically, it's like a chocolate cake had hate sex with like a pecan pie of some sort. They just... This is the end result.
Yeah, the one I had was the pecan.
The Noah pecan mud cake, right? The mud cake style.
Yes, that was the one. Yeah, that was the one I had. Yep.
Yeah.
I know they do a bunch of variations on it. I'm pretty sure Craig, if you're still watching, post in the comments. I think he had like the barrel aged or double barrel or something. He has some crazy variations of it that sounded pretty good too.
Now, just when I thought I found it, Jesus,
for fuck's sake,
I come across this one. So. The Pappy's Even More Jesus. I've got the Cocoa Jesus down there. I've got the Even More Jesus. Now I got to go out and find a Pappy Van Winkle.
No big
God, I don't know if I have that one in the fridge or not.
Just a shelf turd. No big deal. This one's super hard to find. It's ancient Pappy Van Winkle barrels. like each region.
I've only seen pictures of it. I've never actually seen it in the wild.
I've not seen it either.
Yeah, because it's not in the wild. I'm pretty sure you have to know 18 people in the industry just to be able to acquire one.
What is Eric trying to see he has in there?
No, if Eric has Pappy's Even More Jesus in his fridge right now, I believe he should send it to one of us. He's not even allowed to drink it.
You better not drink that cold if he has it.
Yeah, if you drink that like under.
No, I've only got this one.
I'll say.
Yeah, you got the Even More. Yeah, the Pappy's is what I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I remember when they released this last year, and it was one of those things where a lot of people couldn't find it because only certain areas got it.
Still,
Excuse me.
There, the Cloud.
I like the Cloud. I've had the Cloud. It's pretty solid.
I've not had a bad beer from Stillwater. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I'd say none of them have really blown me away, but I've never had a bad one.
Orville.
Yeah, Orval's pretty solid. If Lee Russell, our buddy, if he that's one of his favorite beers of all time.
Is it really?
Yeah, he loves Orval.
Belgian beer. I think he's like me, liking some of the Belgians.
I think that uses Britannomyces. I'm pretty sure in that. Like one of the first beers to ever use it that got super crazy distribution.
And this is out of Denver. And this is TRVE Cold, Trevi Cold or whatever.
And they're going to nominate their own beer, right? Because
I think they're supposed to nominate one of theirs and then one of something else it looks like.
Hopefully.
And then Dila San Karis Bula. Rocky Balboa. What is it?
Yeah, don't hurt yourself, Rod. Rod, do not hurt yourself.
Dila San Karis Bula.
Yeah. Karis Rocky Balboa. I like it.
Hey, Rocky.
Hey, Rocky. Adrian, I did it. I'm drinking.
Alex Gaddam of Upright Brewing. See what he has here. Wait a minute. That's the Upright Saison brews.
Upright Saison.
Dark Saison with cocoa nibs. I could go for that.
Ooh, that sounds actually pretty interesting and neat.
And I've actually had this one before, Jubal Ale.
Yeah, that's
pretty smooth.
It's smooth. Hashtag smooth.
Smooth. Got the TH at O.
But I mean, Deschutes, which we're going to do at some point, they make really good beer as well.
Yeah, so many breweries now. We got 6,000 of them, so we'll get them in at some point.
Yeah, all of them at once. One night.
Lagunitas. What do you got there on Lagunitas? Or you want to read comments first?
I'll do comments real quick and then transition to Wikipedia. I mean, what I have on Lagunitas. Bum says, Earth, I just looked up CBS on tap. It's available at Giant Eagle Supermarket 5 miles from me. Not sure if it's in bottle or draft. Bum, there's only one way to find out.
Bum, out the door right now on the way.
Yep. Big T says he's almost incredulous that what Bum just said is an actual thing. He goes, wait, Untapped shows what grocery stores have beers? Yeah, they have a thing where if you're I guess official on there, you have the little blue check mark. You can post what you have available in bottles on draft. Like it's crazy. But yeah, they do a good job with it. Craig from Kent's Beer Reviews, our good buddy again, who's hanging around, has been hanging around the entire show. The version he had was the Noah hazelnut cupcake version of that Noah beer. And he said he had another taste of it this evening just to rub it in. And he says liquid fetish in a glass. Whoa, Craig, that's a little bit too much information, buddy.
Just stop hanging out with Paul.
yeah. Let's break it down level, buddy. No, but that's the one. And then I think it was Harry from Blue Nose. He did the barrel age version, and I'm just like, the regular's amazing. I don't know how they can make it better, but apparently they can. So hopefully some of those versions and those variants make it over to us. Big T says, I do Untapped, but I didn't know you could search for what stores have in stock. Yeah, I don't want to say it's a newer feature, maybe in the last 6 months, but yeah.
That's on the phone app, though. Might not be on the computer, though, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, well, that would be a question for him. Do you use it on your smartphone, or do you use it? Because I use it both here and there. Like I'll go back and forth. But I didn't really think about that, so it could just be on the phone. Bum says, if you have your location enabled, it can tell you where a certain beer is available in your area within a max radius of 100 miles. So there you go.
Oh, true.
He says, cool, thanks. I'll dig more on Untapped. Yeah, Untapped's great. I mean, people can say whatever. Here's the thing. Ratings don't matter to anybody but whoever's rating it. But as far as being able to find beers that you've had and be able to keep track of what you've drank and how you score, it's a fantastic tool. Apart from that,
comes on there too when the places are in your area to add to Untapped, so ask if you want to get notifications.
Yeah, and it's cool to keep track of what your friends are drinking too. Like it's awesome to see people drinking stuff and being like, hey, that's out now, or man, I'm drinking that too. Or if you're doing a trade with someone, being like, oh, that's available there. You know, I'd love a bottle of it. Keep that in mind. It's an awesome tool, awesome resource.
Yeah, I have no friends on Untapped.
Eric, you gotta befriend all of us then. That's how that works.
Oh, sorry.
Facebook of beer drinkers.
Yeah, except for less drama, actually no drama, and
yeah, true.
It's pretty much the difference. There's just no drama.
I've seen some people get trolled on Untapped before, which is pretty funny.
No, I've trolled people on Untapped and been trolled, so it's good. But
well, this beer is too hoppy, and it's like a pale ale. I was like, oh, dude, you just opened it.
No, I've literally seen someone say this beer's too stouty, drinking an Imperial Stout, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Too stouty?
Yeah. Or they'll be drinking like a wild ale and be like, oh man, this is really sour. Yeah, that's what that's supposed to be. Like you're drinking a Berliner Weiss. Oh man, this is tart. All right. So yeah, but that's the thing you get with Untapped, I think, apart from Beer Advocate and Rate Beer. You get people from all walks of life. Your hardcore beer nerds using it, and then your brand spanking new craft beer drinkers that really don't know what a Berliner Weiss is, or don't know what a Goes is, or they're not aware of what characters are supposed to be getting in an Imperial Stout. Like, and you'll see it on Untapped when it happens. Like Rod said, this beer's too hoppy and it's an IPA. It happens.
Right.
Kind of how it works. But then I think you get a broader range of opinions because you get people from everywhere, not just hardcore beer nerds. So I think it's a more appropriate reflection of the true score of a beer. But anyway, enough about Untapped. Let's go into Lagunitas, because why not? I mean, that's what we're here for. Not really. So we're all familiar with Lagunitas. If not, then I don't know. I mean, Wikipedia is where I'm at right now because, research way over my head. But this brewery was founded in 1993 in Lagunitas, California, believe it or not. Yeah. They are now completely owned by Heineken International.
100%.
And I think it says here, September 8th of 2015, they announced that Heineken was going to buy 50% stake in the company. To expand its operations globally, which, believe me, went over extremely well with everybody.
So something to ponder for people out there.
BrewDog refuses to carry their stuff in any of their locations because,
is Lagunitas a craft beer or not?
Yeah, and then as a result of that deal, Lagunitas was no longer considered a craft brewery under the Brewers Association definition of craft, since Heineken's stake was over 25%. And then just this past May, which got kind of lost in the shuffle with the whole Wicked Weed buyout and everything, and a couple other breweries being bought out, they completely they now completely own it because they purchased the remaining 50% of Lagunitas. So they're 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, owned by Heineken International now. They're the sole owner of the brewery. The founder of Lagunitas, Tony McGee, who very hypocritical for a long time, said he would never sell out, hated big beer, went on Twitter rants, all this stuff. He's still the CEO of Lagunitas, guys. No big deal.
What changes that opinion? A little bit of money. Oh, I got a couple $100 million. Well, I mean, I guess they can own it. This is not that bad.
Yeah, it's not AB InBev or anything. If you've never watched the show before, we're obviously being very sarcastic and joking because most of us here really don't care about that. We drink good beer. We enjoy it, all beer. But some people out there, they like, as soon as that Lagunitas was bought out, 50%, they're like, I'm never touching it again. Done, dead to me. Never again.
Dumped it outside, dumped it down the drain, dumped it in the toilet.
Yeah, everything in their cellar was instantly a drain pour because somehow through magic, it just automatically became terrible because, that's just how that works. But yeah, no, Lagunitas, I mean, come on, they make good beer. They, as of 2014, they were actually in the top 5 as far as sales go for craft breweries in the U.S. I don't know if they have fallen since then, but that's pretty significant to be in the top 5. When look where we are now with 6,000 breweries. So even back then, if you had 3,000 or 4,000, I mean, to be in the top 5 is pretty significant. It was especially
top 5 with the price point.
Yeah. probably part of the reason is the price point is that people see value there. I mentioned this in a couple of shows ago. I mean, where Lagunitas is positioned on the shelf is usually on the West Coast shelf or West Coast area. So you have beers from Oregon and Washington State and other California breweries there. And you look at Lagunitas and you look at the price point compared to anything else on the shelf, Lagunitas blows them out of the water.
Right.
Every single day of the week, twice on Sundays. It's price point's amazing. As mentioned earlier, they were founded in Lagunitas, California by the CEO, Tony McGee. And then just 1 year after they were founded in 93, so 1994, they moved to Petaluma, California, because they quickly outgrew their original rural West Marin location. So pretty interesting. And here it says, since the mid-2000s, Lagunitas has been one of the fastest growing craft breweries in the United States. They increased their barrels from 27,000 in 2004 to 106,000, so 5 times as much, only 6 years later in 2010. As of March 2011, they had 92 employees with a distribution within 32 states. Then they announced a big expansion, $9.5 million expansion in early 2012, which brought their brewing capacity to 600,000 barrels. In 2012, they opened a new location in Chicago. They equipped it with a 250-barrel brew house, which also had a capacity of 600,000 barrels. So 2 different locations, 600,000 each. So you're 1.2 million. They actually started producing beer at the brewery in 2014, April of 2014 to be exact. They opened an on-premise tap room a few months later in the summer. And actually a third brewery is now being built in Azusa, California, with full production this upcoming spring. So that's going to be 3 breweries. And this brewery will have the ultimate productive brewing capacity. Remember, each location 600,000. This one's going to have 1.9 million barrels, which is more than both of the other ones combined by 700,000 barrels. So Lagunitas is brewing a shit ton of beer. Let's just say that. A combined over 3 million barrels per year. I don't know. This is just someone had to throw this in here from this podcast. It just says, on December 1st, 2017, Lagunitas Nighttime reached number 1 on the list of top 100 beers of all time by the Cold Cans podcast. Now, if I go look at who actually edited this and put that down, I'm going to say it was the Cold Cans podcast.
Probably.
Like after this, I'm going to edit and be like, on December 21st of 2017, the Beer Flow show rated Lagunitas a 4.25 out of 5. Like, it's
do it.
It makes absolutely no sense. It's so random. We should. That would be hilarious. Seriously. And also Lagunitas Nighttime, great beer. Great. I believe that is a black IPA. If someone's putting that number 1 on their list,
then they haven't done enough Lagunitas.
Yeah, what are they doing? What are they doing, baby? Nothing wrong. They're confused. So they have an entire section here on Wikipedia. It just says cannabis associations. So everybody knows Lagunitas 420 likes the whole thing. It says the brewery has a long-standing association with cannabis, which have at times caused them legal problems.
This actually leads to one of my favorite beers we'll talk about later.
We can just segue into this before we get into their beers. Which beer is that?
That will be the Undercover Investigation Shutdown.
Okay, so that's a great segue to this next thing. So it says, on St. Patrick's Day, 2005, the California Department of Alcohol Beverage Control served a 20-day suspension of operations to investigate alleged cannabis dealing by the employees at Lagunitas. Officers had staked out the brewery to observe people supposedly consuming on-premise. No charges were filed, and Tony McGee admits, quote, no one was willing to sell it to them, but everyone was willing to give it to him for free. He says the ordeal was eventually commemorated with a beer named Undercover Investigation Shutdown Ale, which Rod is not a fan of, apparently.
I am a fan.
Oh, you are a fan. Oh, I'm sorry.
One of my favorite ones, yeah.
Oh, it is one of your favorite. Okay, I thought you said least favorite. Jesus, I was like, what?
I thought so too.
There's no least favorite Lagunitas beer that I'm aware of. They also say that some beers have had names associated with the drug. In one case, resulting in a name being banned, using the number 420 in internal materials and external advertising, and having a weekly party with cannabis. The use of 420 for marketing and the smoking of parties has stopped for legal reasons. Why? Because this is a little thing that I enjoy, but I don't enjoy. Now, you'll see a lot of people when they talk about news for when it comes to craft beer and being hit with cease and desist and lawsuits from bigger breweries, and they'd be like, "Oh, smaller breweries would never do that, right? Like the craft breweries are all bros, fist bumps, everyone's happy, blah blah blah." It's like, no, you'll see it because it's a business, and this is one of the proving points for me. It says Lagunitas dropped 420 from its labels in 2013 after a trademark claim by Sweetwater Brewing Company, and that's what you're going to see a lot more of is other microbreweries, other craft breweries suing, getting in trademark disputes, and it's happened so many times in the last 5 years. They're businesses. It's going to happen. It has nothing to do with being macro or micro. You got to protect what's yours or what you think is yours, and that's how it works. I hate when people are like, "Oh, you'll never see a microbrewery sue another microbrewery." No, it's happened before. It's going to happen again. It's going to continue happening. So,
does it say what beer it is now, though?
What was the beer that they had to get 420 out of?
Well, they got the 420 off of, but it's actually one of the beers on the market now. I didn't know if you knew what it was or if it said.
Is that the Waldo Special Ale?
Nah.
No, which beer is it?
It's the Lagunitas censored.
Okay, yeah, censored.
That's the one after if that was all 420. Yeah.
That's right. That's on me. No, that's on me.
It's all right.
I didn't do much research.
It's not in the Cliff Notes. It's just one of those.
No, it's Wikipedia at its finest. I'm sure at least 20% of this is incorrect. So
somebody's typing in it right now just to mess with you.
Yeah, man. And by the way, if you've ever seen the Cold Cans podcast, they ranked the Lagunitas Nighttime as the top 100 beer of all time. So there you go. Moving on to the beers they have in their portfolio. We'll start with their year-round releases, and Lagunitas is too cool for us, so they just call it unlimited releases. Their Lagunitas IPA, which I'm sure we've all had here.
Yeah.
I mean, Craig is drinking it right now in the UK, just to show you the distribution footprint of Lagunitas, but that beer in general. And I know they can get it pretty fresh over there too, so crazy.
That's almost like everywhere now, it seems.
Yep, their little something ale, which is fantastic, in my opinion. You guys have all had it, right? No, I was asking you. I just assumed someone else would say something like, "Yeah, I've had it," or "No, I'm going in for a drink." But yeah, no, you guys all had.
I thought you were just going for a drink. That's all.
Yeah, no big deal. But we had Big T there in the comments, and the Beer Bellied Travelers mentioned that that's a great beer that they enjoy. So it is Lagunitas Pils, which I mentioned earlier as being one of the few lagers they produce. Awesome Pilsner. Their 12th of Never Ale, one of the few beers they produce in cans. Again, Craig in the UK, yeah, he's drinking it. He loves that beer. So it's a good beer. Lagunitas Dogtown Pale Ale, which I had when it first came out like 4 years ago here.
Yeah.
I don't see it on shelves too much anymore. How about you guys? Dogtown Pale Ale?
I don't usually see it as much out there.
I've never seen it.
No, not like you used to.
Even though I don't seek it out, I just never seen it.
Yeah, same here. Like I'll like browse the shelf occasionally. That's not one that I see too often. I don't know if this is a newer release or if you guys have seen it, but it's in another can beer, Lagunitas something easy ale. So the play on little something. It's just called something easy ale. I'd imagine it's a session IPA or maybe a session ale. Have not seen that either, so I'd imagine that's on the way. Their Aunt Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the Aunt Sally on the shelf when I was at the beer store today.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had that one. Sour.
Yep. Their Daytime Ale. They're what they call a fractional IPA, which is a session IPA. I've had that plenty of times. Good beer. And then the beer that was created because of brown sugar being an issue and not being able to brew years ago. I'd say this is like 4 or 5 years ago. Lagunitas sucks. So the whole premise of Lagunitas sucks was people saying Lagunitas sucks because they didn't have I think an ingredient, or I couldn't remember why they couldn't brew brown sugar. I think it was 2010, 11, 12, somewhere in that range. And instead they ended up coming out with Lagunitas sucks, and everybody absolutely loved that beer. So not only do they continue producing brown sugar the following year, but then Lagunitas sucks became one of their more popular beers in general too. So it's pretty awesome to see. Their Maximus Ale. I've never had the Maximus. Any of you guys?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I have to see if I had that one.
Yeah, I've never had that one. I've seen it. I just never picked it up.
I've had that one, the Imperial Double IPA.
Yep.
It looks like I gave it a 4.25 at the time I had it.
Oh my, it's so good, baby. Hop Stupid, which
that's a good beer.
Yeah, that's a shelf turd that Todd picked up. There you go. Totally not fresh.
I
does it
see
taste
it
pretty
all
good, Todd?
here too.
Yeah, hop soup is just
Stupid good. That's
Todd
actually, I think, the one Lagunitas beer ranked a 5.
Wow, that's on you. No, it is a good beer. I can see that getting 5 for sure. How about Todd? Is yours fresh tonight? Like you were mentioning, you didn't know how fresh it was. Does it taste good?
It feels like it might be a little more malty than it should be, but it's still really good. I don't know.
Like getting 102 IBU off of that baby?
Oh.
No, it's not. It's not
Feel
real.
like it at all.
Not real hoppy
Yeah.
for being 102.
Well, they malted it out nicely on that one.
But it's a good balance. So I don't know. Like I said, they don't have the date on the bottle, so I don't really know.
Is it
From
up
the store I get it
on the
from, they don't
neck,
usually.
Todd?
I don't see it on either one of my bottles. Are they on any of your else?
There,
Yeah.
it's on mine.
It's you won't be able to see it, but it's right at the neck. Because they're brown bottles, they use, I believe it looks like black ink on it. So
They do. It's got black freaking ink on it.
so it's hard to see.
You got to put it into a light bulb and
Gotta get the black light on it.
Yeah, it's not that important. We're good. And then the final beer in their year round, their Lagunitas Imperial Stout, which is a great Imperial Stout, and that's one of the beers that comes in bombers for like $4.99. So yeah, that's a good beer. That's it for the year round. Their limited releases, they have their gnarly wine, which is fantastic. Their barley, American style barley wine, great beer. And you guys had it. I'm going in for sip. So for that air,
No.
that's on me.
no, I haven't, Joe. I have not.
No, I'd recommend trying it out. Their brown sugar, which 2 of the panel members are drinking right now. Yeah. Their censored dry hopped rich copper ale, which used to have 420 in it. Their undercover investigation shutdown ale, which we referenced already, and one of my personal favorites. Again, $4.99 a bomber. Their cappuccino stout.
That's pretty smooth.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, for $4.99, I mean, you're not. I don't think you're getting much quality. And then I'm not going to try to pronounce this, but I am because I'm an idiot, and I'll make myself look like even more of an idiot. But they're citrus pale ale, which I've had before, and I think it's just a pale ale with I think it's like fruit zest. I want to say like orange, lime, lemon zest. Really good summer beer. Their hairy eyeball ale.
I've had that one.
I don't think I've had that one actually. Their Lucky 13.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had that one. That's one I never picked up. I think.
I know that.
Yeah, I've had that one before. It's so just makes so many. It's like, do I remember?
I don't think I've ever gotten that one.
And then one of my favorite, and I've had it in the past couple of years, but they're Born Again Yesterday Unfiltered IPA. So good.
Very good.
Usually it shows up like less than a week old too, so it's like absolutely crazy fresh. Their Wilco Tango.
I got it 2 days. I got it 2 days after bottling before.
Oh yeah, and that's the whole premise, right? Is they want to get it was born yesterday, aka bottled yesterday. Supposed to be. It's tough with logistics. Is tough, so you can't get it everywhere 2 days old. But that's the whole point for that beer, and that's a cool concept by them because it was shortly after Stone did the Enjoy By. And like Aeneas is like, what if we do like Enjoy the next day instead, right? And that's what came with them. Their Wilco Tango Foxtrot.
I've had that one.
You know,
I've had Lucky 13.
I seen that one, but I didn't pick it up.
That's
pretty good.
Yep. And then shout out to the Cold Cans podcast, but the Lagunitas Nighttime ale, their black IPA, which is the number one beer of all time on the Cold Cans podcast, according to Wikipedia.
Now, when I rated that one, I rated that at 3.25.
I mean, you're not on the Cold Cans podcast. You're not allowed to be there. They'll never invite you. I don't know.
For those guys.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, so we're gonna move on to what you call it. Their one hitter series, which is what I am drinking right now. Their Willetized coffee stout, which actually is that not even listed on here as one of their one hitters? No. Yeah, it is. It's the first one. Their Willetized coffee stout.
Right.
Brand new for 2017. So, I mean, have you guys all seen this in your area?
I haven't seen it yet.
Which one is that?
Willetized.
The Willetized coffee.
I wonder if that's going to replace the Westify for this year, though.
I don't think so. I think they're going to still release it.
Okay.
Oh, they are. I thought it was replacing that as just the one hitter series thing.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know. They don't mention it, but if you see it, pick it up. It's great beer. I'm sure it's going to hit everyone. They're Eroica, which is one of their new beers for the one hitter series. More information here on the site because I'm curious about this one. This actually has Brettanomyces in it and toasted. What did they put this in? I think they put this in wine barrels of some sort.
Ooh.
So they talk about toasted oak walls await the sonic wart. Anticipation fills the hall. Settle down, Lagunitas. So get it under control.
Toasted. I thought you were going to go coconut there for a second.
No, but I'm pretty sure this is. I'm looking on. They call it. So I'm on YouTube right now, and they have like a little thing. It says sourish. I'm on YouTube in multiple ways. Sourish farmhouse ale says a Lagunitas-ified version of a traditional farmhouse ale aged in French oak wine barrels for up to 9 months. And then they funky it up with some Brettanomyces yeast, and they call it high. And that high is really long because 420 and cannabis. It says highly limited and handy 6-packs and on draft. So keep your eye out for it. Sounds pretty interesting. I'm sure it'll be like $1.99 a bottle because Lagunitas. They're also Dark Swan Sour Ale. I've seen it, never picked it up.
Never picked it up either.
Mm-mm. They're Waldo's Special Ale. I've had super dank.
Yeah.
Super dank.
Very good.
Cannabis. Yeah, it's really good, but it definitely has weed-like inspirations in the hop
Never
character.
picked it up, but it's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Quite possibly.
and then they're Born Yesterday Pale Ale Fresh Hop, which is similar to the Born Again Yesterday. I forgot what the difference is between them. I want to say the Born Again, I think they just rebrewed it again because people wanted it, and I believe it became more of a seasonal as opposed to just a one-off, aka one-hitter. So, that just does it for the beers that they have. There's, I'm sure, a ton of beers that we've all had that they don't have on their lineup on their website because they've retired some. It's just how it goes. It's happened every single. Yeah, the down low. That's not on the website. Clearly, somebody here, aka Eric, is drinking it down right now and enjoying it. So
enjoying it down low.
Did they list the Imperial Stout? I don't remember if you said that or not.
Yeah, I did. That was one of the first year round in the Bombers.
Okay, so I got one of those in the fridge too.
Yeah, those are good. I mentioned that in the
You
caption.
didn't mention the Sakatumi.
They don't have it on the website.
Sakatumi,
So it's already out. So okay.
Yeah. So if there's anyone else you can remember, like throw it out there, and I'll be like, it totally wasn't on the website.
Damn Wikipedia.
Sakatumi.
This isn't even Wikipedia. This is their actual website. Lagunitas' website.
Oh, their actual website.
Yeah, they're dropping the ball, brother.
But once they take it out, they take it off.
Yeah. Well, you think they would have like an archived, because some of the breweries we did had like I think New Holland had an archived part of their website where they showed all the beers they brewed before but aren't currently available. So go to the comments real quick before we get into some of our stuff. Big T says, oh boy, mark your calendars for January 3rd, 2018, 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And subscribe to Ronald Terrio. It'll be my first primetime appearance, and he's taking off work for it.
What day is that?
It's probably a Wednesday. Not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after.
Oh, January 3rd. I thought you said 3rd, but I don't feel okay.
Yeah, he said January 3rd. My bad if I didn't say it. I think I did, but no, it could be on me. He also says he didn't honestly know they were owned by Heineken. So yeah, he says he loves learning something new. That's why I watch. I mean, if we can provide one person a nugget of information that they didn't know, that's
every goal.
Mission accomplished.
Learn something new every day.
Mission accomplished.
You usually get dumber watching me talk, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the knowledge being dropped. I guess. Craig says he has the IPA in the fridge, and he also the daytime fractional beer, the session beer, is also in the UK. Tyler continues with Maximus is good because I feel weird calling him Big T. Tyler says Maximus is good, but mine had pulp in it. Kind of odd. I'll have to revisit. No reviews I saw had pulp. Backwoods Billy Craft Beer Review says interesting beers. He's into it. He's pumped. I want to say there's at least 407 emojis here. More like 12. And he just says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Cheers. Merry
Christmas, Billy.
That's a good one.
Nobody gives me more emojis, I think, than Billy or Maurice. Either one of those two.
There's a bunch of beards. There's a Christmas tree. There's a Santa. He went nuts. It's fantastic. I love it. And then Tyler says, great talk here. Didn't know much about Lagunitas before this. Tyler, my recommendation, and I think everyone else would co-sign it, it's Lagunitas best bang for the buck, but they also cover a wide range of beers, and they're all very well made. And I really haven't had too many beers from Lagunitas that I can say like I didn't enjoy. And every time they're well made, so even if I don't enjoy the flavors, it's still good for the style. They just do a great job.
I agree.
So, all right, so we'll finish up with I guess our own personal takes on the beers. We'll go quick. We don't have to. We pretty much have gushed over Lagunitas. We've talked about what we had. So we'll just go favorite beer from Lagunitas. We won't even do least favorite because no one has a least favorite beer from Lagunitas. Favorite beer, overall opinion and rating for the brewery. We'll start with Todd.
For me, my favorite for them is the Sucks. I do like that one. I enjoy that one a lot. Very well made, I think. It's a great Imperial Double IPA. For the money, I mean, you just can't beat it. You just can't beat. Like I said, I know you've harped on it, but for me, bang for the buck, it goes a long way when you've got hundreds of thousands of breweries out there, beers to choose from, and you're putting, it's not even apples to apples really when you're comparing their beers to others when it comes to their price point. I mean, it's just, a no-brainer really if money's an issue and you just want to have a good, solid made beer. You're not going to go wrong with any of the beers that they have really. I mean, their misses are far better than most breweries' misses, in my opinion. And you can say what you can say what you want. Yeah, it's a Heineken-owned brewery, and I think it's not enough years in the process of them being owned. I mean, obviously this year. And down the road, yeah, maybe, and goes for a lot of these breweries. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Process of that. Not, in my opinion, nothing's changed. The only thing it's done is help get them into more people's hands, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it's I'd put them at about a 4 or 5 probably rating on the scale. Maybe I think they're solid. And price point, in my opinion, price point plays a big part into that.
This man speaks the truth. He won't tell a lie. He does not fib. Yeah, no, everything that you said, Todd, I echo. So Todd likes him a lot.
I do. I do.
Yeah. Rod, your favorite beer, personal opinion, and overall score.
Favorite beer is actually kind of a tie.
Oh baby.
Between I'm just thinking if I rate like Hop Stupid and a little something were the 2 highest rated I've given from them. Both are very good. I probably have to have them side by side to see which one I like out of the 2 more. And then right behind them is Undercover Shutdown. So
nice.
But if I had to choose between those 2, probably a little something might have a little bit of an edge. Maybe. So it's definitely razor thin. I think as a brewery though, overall, they're pretty consistent. It's almost like one of the breweries between them and I would say like a Sierra Nevada, you have to almost count in value as being a part of it. So I think that you get a great value point from them. A lot of their beers, though, I've rated between probably 3 to 3.5, 3.75. So it never really knocked me back on a lot of them, but they're just solid, steady. They're like a Pete Rose, right? They're always getting hits. They're kind of just putting the ball in play, nothing really slamming to the fence or anything like that, except for a few here and there. Maybe like an Ichiro instead of Pete Rose. I don't know.
Well, and that's a good comparison because they totally got banned from the Brewers Association, kind of like Pete Rose got banned from the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So they're decent hitters, and they got the one hitter series, so that goes there. So
see what you did there, pun intended.
I would say a rating for me on them as far as a brewery, I would have them 4.25. I'd probably give them a solid 4, maybe slide it into a 4.25 occasionally, but definitely a nice stand-up 4. Keeping it all about baseball right now.
Yeah, he's it's winter time, Rod.
It's training camp.
In about a month and a half or so. No, that's fair. Fair points. How about you, Eric? What's favorite beer? Your overall opinion and then score?
I think now I haven't had too many of the Lagunitas beers. I'll just come out and say that right now. So, but I like this one that I've got right now, the Down Low Ale. I've also had the Maximus, which I thought was really good. And there's a couple other ones that I've had that I would have to go back through my videos and actually see what I rated them. But I agree with Rod and Todd. I mean, the price points there. They always have solid beers. Like Todd said, if some of their misses are usually above some of the other people's misses or other breweries' misses. So, I mean, anything that I've had from Lagunitas, and it's been kind of very few, have been fairly good. Fairly good. I would probably give them as a rating. I would give them. Now I go on a 100-point scale, but I'd give them about an A-, about a 91, 92, right around there.
We're gonna ask you to translate that to out of 5. So I guess that's a 4.6.
We're no longer on the 100-point scale.
4.6. I guess 4.6. Yes.
I mean, they're solid. They're solid. Yeah, I'll probably be a 4.5, right around there. 4.5, 4.6.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Me personally, I will simply say they're my favorite brewery of everyone we've done to this point. My favorite beer is Lil Something Something Extra that they released a couple years ago.
Oh, we went over the extra. Huh?
Yo, that beer was just absolute fire. It was fantastic. And we all know how good Lil Something Something the regular is, right? So this was like a step up. I think he gave it a 4.75 on Untappd. So it was awesome. If I had to go with like crazy seasonal one-off weird thing, I'd probably go honestly with their IPA. I've had it multiple times in the last couple of years because they have it on tap at like random, like I'm not say Applebee's, but like an Applebee's like location, and it's just like wow, like it needs on tap IPA. And every time I drink it, I'm like, God, this is so good. This is just a regular older recipe IPA, and it's fantastic. There's so many to pick from, but yeah, a little something extra would be. But again, it's kind of not fair because it's not. But if I brought a seasonal into it or one hitter series, the Born Yesterday, just extremely well made. The fact that they go out of their way to make sure that people get it like under a week old, super fresh, and you get the intention of the beer that they brewed it for. For me though, like easy 4.75 out of 5. Like it's Lagunitas for me is one of the few breweries that I've had that I can say they have never let me down. I can almost say that I can't recall one beer I had from them where I was pissed off at all or like super disappointed. And again, I'm very hypocritical. I'm going to be like the CEO of Lagunitas, Tony McGee, super hypocritical here. And I'm going to say, again, I don't bring in price point a lot when I review beers. I review what's inside the bottle and the can, because I think that you kind of should review the beer on the merits of what's inside. But you can't beat Lagunitas price point. They cannot be beat. Maybe Rod J getting his deals can beat them. But I'm talking about like general deals. They are the best bang for buck, best value, period, in the U.S. When you're talking about quality, like I said, I think people. I mean, I'm almost trivializing how like a beer that's 12.6% aged in rye bourbon barrels for probably at least 6 months, if not longer. The fact that a 12-ounce bottle is under $3 is freaking insane. I don't think people understand how insane that is. Local breweries don't even have price points.
Can't even do that.
You can't.
Joe, and the thing with that is they were doing it before they were bought out by Heineken.
Yeah. This is not a thing.
That would changed, yeah.
Fantastic point. They have been like this for years, as long as I can remember. Like they're high westified Cayman Bombers, and I think it was like $7 or $8, and that was again a big beer just like this.
Right.
We're talking CBS and 750s for $25. When the KBS 750s that came out this year, along with it, $20. If they can do it, Lagunitas pre-Heineken, as Todd mentioned, great point again. That's very not to be taken lightly. That is a great point because they were doing it before they bought out, and they continue to doing it. The fact that you can get their products for as cheap as they are is insane. It's great. I commend them. It's a fantastic brewery. If you haven't tried them, like Tyler, too much of it, get out there and try it. You might be like Rod, where a lot of the stuff falls in like the just solid category. You might be like myself or Todd, where we love it, or even Eric. But the simple fact of the matter is, when you get a beer from them, it's going to be well made, and you're never going to feel ripped off. And that's one thing in this world when it comes to craft beer, a lot of people feel is ripped off when you're paying premium prices for beers that sometimes are very underwhelming. Even if you get a Lagunitas offer that's underwhelming, are you going to be upset because you paid $1.79 a bottle or $4 or $5 for a bomber? If so, then I don't know what you're thinking, but they have the best price point. I'm going to stop now. Fantastic.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with them for somebody that's just stepping foot in the water of craft beer and wanting to go full bore into your solid craft beer making, and you're not paying much for it. So if you don't like it, well, you paid $2 for it.
Perfect, because that's another great point. That's 2 not Todd. I'm writing these down. You get extra gold stars. But no, the price point is key, because if you've ever had friends that try to get a craft beer, what's one of their hesitations? I don't want to pay the price. I'm used to paying $4 or $5 for a 6-pack, or I pay $7, $8 for a 12-pack. So it's hard for someone to pay the same price for a 6-pack that they pay for a 12-pack. But Lagunitas, I think, and Sam Adams and brewers like that, it softens the blow for them people, because they're like, oh, well, I'm paying a little bit more for premium, but I'm not going, $15 a 6-pack, 4-pack. So it's a great brewery for that. So anyway, I think it's safe to say this is probably the highest rating I think we've all given as a
except for me.
No, I'm saying as a whole. You 4.5, Todd 4.5. Yeah. I think we've all guys. Someone gave 4.75 to, maybe it was Spells. I don't know what the highest has been. No one's given a 5 out of 5 yet.
I thought the highest was
5 last week or something.
Yeah, I thought the highest was last week.
Who gave? Oh, would it be all give it 4 or 5?
I gave it a 5 last week.
Oh Jesus! Okay. Whatever. It's close. It's close.
It's close. Yeah, it's close. It's close.
It's close. I don't remember 5s too many. But okay.
Run that footage.
I mean, we need some kind of mathematician off to the side, like rounding them all up and adding them up and dividing them and giving the average score. Maybe I'll do that. You know what? I'm actually going to be a nerd since we have time over the weekend. I'm going to go I'm going to go to every single show that we've done for a brewery, and I'm going to do the average score for each, and then do a ranking.
The last few minutes of it, so yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I can just go and then we'll have a running tally of like. Maybe we'll have like a top, we'll have a top 10, and then we'll have a top 15 and top 20. It'd be fantastic.
There you go. Good idea.
No, I'm gonna try it though. And then we'll edit Wikipedia, one of the breweries that we do, and say that the Beer Flow show it's the #1 brewery in the top 20 of all time for us. So we'll do.
Hey, the only beer show now on the top wine list of
that's right.
That's right. That's right.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
We're gonna have to change this to the Wine Flow show at some point. But before
Hillbilly, by the way, Hillbilly Wine, because he's actually on that list.
Yeah, no, he actually does wine.
Yeah,
so
he actually does wine.
And one last thing, if people are watching still, or even if they watch to the end, next week's show, the Flowing Pints, and like I said, I'll get it over to Rod, the entire list, and he can post it in the description. So
because I'm the name of the awards, the Flowing Pints. Even though I named it, I didn't.
He named it, but then he forgot. Just like I forgot someone gave it 5 out of 5 to last week's brewery, which I already forgot the brewery because I'm dumb.
So no review, no brewery next week.
Nope, just the Flowing Pints. It's gonna be probably an hour and a half, 2 hours long, kind of like this one of us just talking about awards that we're giving personally.
So throwing the tie, throwing the tux.
If you come to this with a tux, I'm leaving.
He's here.
Yeah, you should just have like the bow, like the bow tie, like have the bow tie
with the bow tie,
but the clip on. Just have the clip on like on your shirt. That's what you need.
There you go.
Gotta class it up. But yeah,
top hat.
That's next week, and then we'll figure out what's going on. I mean, I threw Amagang out there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe so Amagang. Amagang's all right. Maybe some Deschutes. We got a lot of options.
Settle down. We got to build our way out.
Yeah, there's only 6,000 breweries. No big deal. I mean, whatever.
Looking through them all eventually.
But of course, we always care. So, Eric, if you want to drop that important message.
All right, guys. Guys, if you had too much to drink, please get a designated driver. If you guys watch my beer show called Eric's Beer Reviews, I always do this little PSA at the end of my videos. If you're going to get pulled over by the cops if you try to drive home drunk, you're going to do the stupid sobriety test. Then you're going to get a ride in the cop car. Then you're going to get jail time, court fees, possible prison time. And if you hit or kill somebody, you're definitely getting prison time. And if you kill yourself, all you've done is hurt your family and friends. Sleep off your buzz. Get your car the next day. Get an Uber, taxi, Lyft. call a buddy, ask the bartender for to get you a ride, just something so you don't have to go through all that mess and thousands and thousands of court fees and any other fees you got to do. So in this day and age, it's stupid.
Yeah. So don't do it. Don't do it. Anybody else got any closing thoughts before I bring in our final and last special guest of the night?
Nope.
Everybody out
Keep
there that
drinking
watch,
good craft beer.
everybody that watched, we appreciate you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Or if you're enjoying
Have a Merry Christmas.
If you're doing Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa.
Merry
Whatever
Christmas.
you're doing, enjoy it.
Don't be offended because we said Merry Christmas, though. Please don't.
Send any complaints to Joe.
Yeah.
I don't have a channel, so pass them on to Eric.
And then if you're repackaging your gifts, have a happy Boxing Day too.
Yeah. And so as
Shout out to Canada.
always, we always have our friend of the show to close it out.
Mhm.
And we'll go ahead and bring that in and then look forward to seeing you guys next week on the award show. But sit back, relax as we hit the time warp, like in what was that Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yep.
Oh,
Thanks
now
to
you got a
everybody.
question.
Well, I just want to thank everyone who commented. Craig, the Beer Belly Travelers, Tyler, Bum, Ewert. Who else did we get in there? We got Earth showed up, and I think that's it. Oh, Backwoods Billy as well. Shout out to all those guys for comments. Appreciate it.
Comments.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All
All
right.
the comments are done. So.
Be safe, be smart, and have a great holiday. See you guys next week.